Okay. Hello, twin flames. So I'm going to do a little reading here based on the fact that while I was doing another reading, I really felt like I was kind of getting interrupted. And so I wrapped up that one, the weekly reading, and you can click that below. You can see that on the channel. I wrapped up that reading, and then I thought I might as well go to this silly, gosh darn twin flame reading, which seems to call my attention. And I believe it's like genuinely, honestly, because people are needing support and wanting the connection with their person to work out. And so, like, I'm not mad about having to be here. I am begrudging. I know that you must notice that I feel begrudging about it. There's many reasons why I would feel a little bit like, about doing them. So I don't know. That's just my thing. That's not your thing. You don't have to take that on. I'm happy to be here. So, hello, twin flames. Generally, it's like the divine feminine who watches, no matter the gender. And again, gender is very important and not relevant in speaking about these energies currently because it can be no matter the person. And honestly, like I find every now and then if I listen to a divine masculine or divine feminine reading, sometimes if I listen to a divine masculine reading, I'll sense part of myself in that and like a larger part than the feminine. And it just happens every now and then that I really feel like much more that's my side. And, it'll shift and go back and forth. And it's probably a matter of how I'm using my own energy at that time. So this can be as much for you as on a personal level as it is about you and your connection. So if you personally, I'd be interested if you're watching below, I'd love to know if you feel, do you feel like you're on a twin flame journey yet? Do you know? Do you feel like but no one's told you, you're not really sure? Do you feel like you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine? I'd be interested because it's going to help me curate what content I write. And for my healing work, a lot of my clients ended up being men. And so it wouldn't be that surprising to me if a lot of divine masculines ended up just because of the general majorities. Like it wouldn't be surprising to me if that's what I ended up doing readings for. But I am a divine feminine, so I'm going to do readings from that perspective for now. So these were the cards that showed up that I pulled for myself earlier this week and then put them all back in the deck. And then they all just showed up when I did the reading. And I was kind of like, however that happened, I know that I shuffled. So I'm just going to let this be what it is. So the cards that we got were Wolf, Instinct. We're just jumping right in here because I don't know how else to do these. I'm just figuring out what I like doing about them. Okay, so the wolf and instincts, and what I've been seeing wolves like a lot. It's not surprising because the wolf moon is the next full moon coming up, and so again, not surprising at all that I've been seeing wolves everywhere. I tend to see animals as seasons go, and yeah. But something that I do want to share about this wolf energy is it's feeling as though it's like a doting kind of protective wolf. Like I keep getting visited by this very like it's like a cold energy that is standoffish, but like she's circling the pack. So it's like a feminine energy, which is distanced or detached and cold, but it's cold and detached for the purpose of keeping keen insights and awareness and perception around her while circling a group of people who are maybe less aware or less apt to be able to protect themselves. I feel like this is an overall energy for both sides, is that you're trusting your instincts more. So with the divine feminine, a lot of your trusting instincts has been about you stepping up into your own power, into your connection spiritually with however it is that you connect spiritually. But I'm seeing with force, with Hecate, Bridget, Isis, Persephone. Those are the names jumping out at me right now. These are things that and belief systems that you might have just been stepping into, or you might have just gotten new information from them, and it might have deepened your connection with spirit and source, however it is with God, however it is that you communicate that. Words are so hard, right? Like words don't really show what I mean when I say that. We all know that, but anyway, you know that if you're listening to this. So however it is that you're feeling called, divine feminines, it's like a time of trusting your instincts and basically just like not second guessing yourself, and not second guessing your connection internally and upwards. And with the masculines right now, it's about that with the real world. So like trusting their instincts with, if they haven't quite taken the steps that they need to shift out their life in a way that works, to help them feel better, then what they're doing is actually mapping out their plan, and they're just trying to go with the next one that they feel instinctively pulled towards. So I almost feel like, and this is interesting. So I'm getting like some like finger tension and soreness, and getting some like disconnection. It feels like things are like very, very tender, and that it's almost like being too quick to draw. Like I'm getting a lot of like gun references coming up in my mind right now. Hunting, like someone's hunting. Might be that your masculine is really like hunting you out. This is something that's been happening a lot. Like, yeah, lots of feeling like someone's like watching you, or nearby, or visiting where it like wouldn't make sense, or things like that. Like there's a lot of like interesting vibes going on, and investigative things happening in the collective. So for the masculines, it feels like the instincts have been running towards their instincts with in the external. And if they haven't started running, it's like they're planning on it. They're doing the circling. They're looking around, making sure they know what they need to protect and what the real danger is outside, et cetera, et cetera. But I do feel like it's a time of really heavily relying on instincts and trusting instincts. Finally, trusting instincts is what I'm hearing, which is leading to new moon promise, which is like the engagement card. So if you're in some type of connection, it may be that you're having an engagement soon, maybe that you're deepening your connection, making some sort of deeper commitment than was there before. It may also be that you are having, like, it's like new promises to yourself. I'm also seeing. It might be something tied to the new moon and like setting intentions, or like setting your goals or something like that. Meadow, vulnerability. So I feel also that these energies are sort of for both the masculine and feminine. It feels like there's a lot of mirroring right now in the collective. Like things are happening kind of similarly to both sides, but like without knowing it. Like both sides don't really know how similar it is. But it's something special, right? That there's, I don't know, it depends on if you're really suffering, then it really doesn't feel special to share that with someone. But um, with this meadow and this vulnerability, I'm feeling like it's mirrored. I feel like it's for both the masculines and feminines right now. The feminines, I think, are in a position where they're testing the bounds of their vulnerability within a new confine. So it feels like it's like the gates of your meadow, of your field, have like opened and are wider, bigger. It's like you have grown to larger pastures, and you're just making sure that you can maintain that space, and that it feels as though you can fill it up and really feel like yourself in it. You never want to move to a larger space and then just not feel like yourself when you're there, right? That's not the goal. Okay, and so then for the masculine, this vulnerability is really about how you approach the external world. And so they're thinking about, when I interact with things, am I able to be vulnerable here? Am I able to be vulnerable there? Is it possible for me to be safe and keep all those safe around me? And what are the barriers to that? What are the limitations of my sharing and vulnerability? And where am I safe to or not, is definitely something that I'm hearing for that side. And the reasons that we would be having any type of blocks against our vulnerability, towards our shared emotions, and honesty, is because of childhood innocence, and because of wanting to protect that very safe piece of us, which is kept pure from our childhood. It may be that you don't feel like your childhood was very pure and therefore you couldn't have that. But um, this is a part of every single person, I believe, that is innately, I believe your inner child is a part of you, whether or not it got to be expressed as a child or not. Sorry, my phone's going off. You might be getting communication as it comes to children. So if you're looking to get pregnant, it might be that you hear something about that. There's some sort of like communication coming in about children. It also could be that someone is thinking about having kids with you, and that's something that's causing them to think maybe about their vulnerability, and maybe they really want to share that. They really want kids and they really want kids with you. I'm also hearing that I'm hearing the masculines specifically would like to feel innocent with you, would like to feel so with the feminines. The masculines would like to feel a sense of innocence with the feminines, like not like nothing ever happened, but kind of like nothing ever went wrong. It's like a really funny, that might feel like a big ask. I don't know what that feels like to you, but it's very cute. Um, yeah, so Milky Way perspective is our last card here from the Earth Magic deck, and I'm going to pull a couple more, um, other than the other ones that started coming out with this last reading. But this perspective piece has been something that's very important. It feels like a longer lasting thing. It feels like this period of perspective has actually taken many months, like over 6 months, 1 year. Like it feels like a long time, 2 years. This perspective shift that's been happening is something that is allowing the masculine mostly to be able to see a larger perspective, and the feminine to be able to close the perspective actually in on herself, so it's or on themselves. So the divine feminine is sort of focusing on how can this part of my life really expand and continue reflecting me and the chaotic, expansive, ever creative nature that I am, the feminine. How can this life really continue working for me? And the masculine is going through, how can I get working, for my life again? And it's a very interesting, dynamic right now in the collective. It feels like I know that there's been, because I've spoken to people, I know that there's been a few breakthroughs. I also know that there's been some tests of faith, testing waters type vibes going on. What are we needing to do? Okay, intention and enchantment. Intention and enchantment. So I believe this enchantment piece is about reminding yourself to believe in the energy. There's definitely some people listening who like have been following the twin flame journey for a decently long time, and so as you're listening it might feel like yeah. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, like I've heard it all before, or yeah, I've got this. And while that's important to remind yourself that you've come a long way and that you've grown and that you have deepened your understanding and you've deepened your love, your potential for love and capacity to care for your partner and to accept them fully, whatever may come, you might be in like such a purely balanced place about everything. But if you're not delighting and pleasuring in and enjoying the romantic, or not even romantic, the connection, just the pure power of the connection, it really needs to be like just the pure power of the connection. That's what I'm hearing. So it's, if you're not delighting in the power and rarity, or uh, elegance, luxury, there's something like delightful or divine. There's some sort of like word that's coming to mind here. Maybe you'll come up with one there that you need. But yeah, there's a great need for you on both sides to be able to enjoy this for what it is, and to not only associate it with pain or drama or distance or separation or suffering, or romance or exciting, or you don't want to idolize or put something up on a pedestal. That often relates for the masculines. They put a lot of things up on pedestals, so it's like so out of reach. They need to become Herculean in order to like deal with that, which it doesn't really make much sense. It's not really where the feminine is. wanting to be spoken to, but at the same time, the feminine needs to understand how to hold their own as they're waiting for all those heroic tasks to be completed, right? So, like, while Hercules is going off on this journey, on the hero's journey, making sure that, he's taking care of all this business and all this whole list, this checklist of stuff that has to be sorted, like, these are the people waiting at home going, hello, like, where'd you go? So there's learning on both sides to be done, right? Like, one's not necessarily better than the other just because the situations. Okay, so then we have some goddess cards to round this out. Interesting. Okay, so we have Mawu, Mother Earth, and this is something I've been feeling for a lot of the Twin Flame Collective recently. It's been a lot about like environmental shifts, helping the earth and the planet in some way. It could be about helping people, but I am feeling there's also a lot in here about helping animals and helping climate or suffering as well. I'm hearing just helping suffering. And then we're having boundaries. I believe this is for the masculines as well as the I mean, it's always an issue or a concern for the feminines, but I believe that the masculines are actually needing this one right now. And it says, love yourself to say no to, love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. So no matter who the demand is coming from, like, it's very important. This is where we get back to that wolf energy of trusting your instincts. It's very important for both sides to be trusting your instincts, keeping boundaries in place. And, I'm hearing like, not getting too close, but still having a look. So it's almost like that same, like someone sitting in the corner closet. It's very interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then we're also getting Athena, Inner Wisdom, and I've been seeing the owl so much. I've been seeing the owl for the collective as well. And this says, you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So maybe that some action actually comes forward this week or very, very soon, very shortly. This inner wisdom is just, it's like going to drop in. It's going to like click, and then it's going to be like, whoa, I'm not afraid. It's going to be like, I'm not scared anymore. That's coming from the masculines. And also, from the feminines, there's definitely a part with the feminines currently about creating space and how, like, holding a space open in their life. Like, it's like you're worried, you're doubting that you're going to be able to keep holding the space that you've opened. And that's where we get back to that pasture. And it's like, you just have to keep watch over the fields. Like, there's no other, and ask for help if you need it. Like, get the animals. Maybe that's why the animals are coming in as well. Maybe animals are actually going to assist you on this journey in some way. So keep an eye out for that. And then we have Mother Mary, expect a miracle. So miracles, again, children are really feeling drawn to this reading right now. Like, there's just a lot of like baby and child energy right now. And then it says, Mother Mary, have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So if this is something that you've been wishing for a long time, this union with your partner, expect a miracle. Keep believing and expecting that, your partner is going through what they need to go through, and miracles will bring you together just as they did in the first place. They will continue to. So thank you very much. Please let me know if any of this resonates at all down below. Make sure you've liked and subscribed so that you can continue seeing these, as I hope to make more. And we will see you soon. Take care, everyone.